Hello everyone and welcome back. We're into another one of our little sessions, how to cope without therapy. And in this video, we'll give a few more thoughts to perhaps a continuing on theme from yesterday. Yesterday we were sort of trying to figure out what it is that we're searching for. And it's a pretty simplistic question. Most of the times it triggers a very philosophical type of approach and answer. And it sort of stayed with me in the rhythm of today, and throughout my other things I came across this one article about nature and similarities of today's world, today's super duper connected world, and the networks that make up our everyday living, and it was a parallel with nature and how in its complexity and just as much connectedness, nature manages to find a way to avoid calamities. That was the word there, and I kind of really liked it. Like, there's something in the complexity of everything else that manages to weave itself together, and somehow it arrives to some sort of survival kind of maybe instinct, maybe mode, maybe just pull all together. It just gravitates towards avoiding annihilation, basically. So there was a pretty interesting essay there, and it sort of kind of made sense a little bit, thinking in the end of the day it is the complexity and the diversity of today's world that compensates for our ability of basically avoiding destruction or calamities. So moving back to that question of yesterday with what it is that you're searching for, because obviously we are all staying away from pain, destruction, annihilation, anything like that. So this brings me to today. Today, here's what happened. I actually wanted to share this with you, and it was a little bit of an eye-opener and an unexpected result to something that usually is quite confronting for most people. Today, I had to have a meeting with a lovely lady otherwise in one of my workplaces, and basically it was one of those review meetings where we decided that there is no point in continuing on, and we were about to disrupt the employment, to terminate the employment with us. And like I said, it always is something that it's very confronting to people, and it's never easy to be at the receiving end of anyone telling you that you don't quite cut it for their environment. It just so happened that this time around, this beautiful little soul today, she was well prepared. She had synthesized pretty much all of the arguments in terms of her strengths and what she's amazing at, and she truly is, as well as all of her shortfalls and things that she doesn't get right every day, things that she slips up with, things that she leaves behind, and truth of the matter is that any review is usually putting things into balance. So whoever it is, the assessor of that particular situation, will always, and I mean always, make decisions by putting things into balance. Is it worth investing further effort? Is the good outweighing the bad? It's as blunt as it can be. But today, it was an interesting conversation, and hearing her talk was just amazing, and I was blown away by her ability to discern between this is what I do well and this is really something that I'm not good at. And in the midst of that conversation, we arrived together to the conclusion that we're not a match in terms of jobs and employment and field and profession. This particular job that she was hired to do with us was just not her thing. She could excel in certain things, but she was hating other bits. So it was a bit of a revelation while talking to each other today, that it wasn't that much about convincing anyone. Like, she didn't have to convince me that she's awesome. I didn't have to convince her otherwise. It was well and truly like a shared revelation almost. We both agreed that perhaps this is just not it. She would be so much happier into doing something else, somewhere else, in a different environment, that she would easily apply everything that she knows into. So it was, we ended up really parting ways with a very holistic kind of advice, where I just said, please take the rest of the day, go somewhere, put your bum on the grass, and you know what, look at the clouds. Try to figure out not what it is that you're searching for, that's not what we were going for, but it was mainly trying to figure out that what it is that she should try next, really. And this is where I'm getting with it today. It is in today's living, as complex and compacted and unsimplified as we have it, it is being happy with your choices and where it is that you go to spend the next 8 hours of your day. It's blooming extraordinary to figure out and understand that actually this doesn't make me happy, but I'm quite willing to try. And this is where we had quite a open heart, open-minded conversation, and truth be told, she didn't know what's going to be next. And I said, well, look, how about you don't put that pressure on yourself, and you don't expect perfection out of your next job, next try. Trying is merely that. Try is sampling. Really, give it a go. You will not figure out what it is that you're good at if you spitefully hold on to something just because you think someone else is wrong telling you it doesn't fit you and your personality and your gift of your little uniqueness and who you are. So I guess take the time to figure it out and give it a go and try things out. Perfection will never show itself the moment you think, you read an ad or you apply for a job and you think, you know what, this is it. This is what I'm going to do for the next 35 years of my life. I kind of sort of tend to give you an advice that that's not it and that's not how it works. Try, explore other fields, give it a go, show up and give it your best and see where that takes you. It may take you 1, 2, 3, 5 different attempts, but eventually you will come across that choice that fits you like a glove. That, you know, there are many recipes out there of how to put together what you're good at with your passions into something that will make you happy to spend 8 hours of your life every day in and out, dedicating breaths and time and you into something that brings you happiness. That's the whole point. And there is no one secret recipe. So my advice is people usually tend to get very focused on this adversarial view. When someone arbitrarily tells you, I don't think this is for you, tendency is to defend ourselves, or we feel attacked and we go like, well, I think I'm really good at what I do, so who are you to tell me? Well, perhaps the approach would be more like, you know what? You might be seeing something that I can't, so tell me more. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should spread my wings and just give it a try and fly. Who knows? It's always just a choice away. Just that. Thank you so much. I'm Gabriela, and I shall see you again tomorrow for the next little bit of session.